Hello YouTubers. Let me turn off this noise. I'm back. I've been running, even though it's relatively warm today, well actually it's not. But I've been running the heaters anyway. And they make noise. So I thought I'd give you all a break. God bless us all. Here we are on Thursday, January 19th, 2017 at 14:45 in the afternoon Eastern Time. I'm doing a lot better today, which I'll talk about here as time goes on. Paul came over on Tuesday, January 17th, and we sat around and shot the breeze a bit. He came over and told me some hotel stories, which I can't really talk about because he's signed sort of one of these non-disclosure agreement things. But it's always fun to hear him tell these stories. I will say that I guess I can't really even mention the name of the place. I will say that they seem to run a lot tighter ship as far as tolerating bad guest behavior at this current place than his last place of employment did. They put up with all sorts of stuff. I couldn't, well, anyway, it's a better situation for him. He's doing okay at his new place, it looks like. He's looking good. Looking good. Sure looks a lot happier. Excuse me. He's put on some weight, which he needed to do, clearly. And speaking more clearly. It's good. It's good. Let me tell you, I'm going to sort of work backward in this little discursiveness today, discourse today. Last night at 7:30 or 7:45, as I often am, I was just tired. You know, I'd been up. Well, I was tired. You know, and it'll become clear why I was tired when I get going and tell you the whole thing. And I was just in that great state there, you know, where you're almost asleep and you sort of hear now I take my cell phone in with me to the bedroom, but I hear the phone machine go off, bring, 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 and I thought, I looked at my watch and it's like, it's like 8:10, you know. There's nobody who knows me well would ever call me that late at night unless there was a real problem. Or, or just somebody who doesn't know me well enough to know any better than to call me at 8:10 in the night. And I listen and I vaguely hear the words St. Peter's and I'm thinking, oh shit, what's this all about? So I kind of lie there for about 3, 4, 5 minutes and think, should I get up and listen to the machine, the answering machine? What should I do? What's the right thing to do? So I got up eventually, and I went in and looked, and it says wireless caller on the caller. It says wireless caller, and it's a number I don't recognize. I checked my cell phone; it's not in my cell phone number. my contacts numbers. It's not in my contacts list on my computer. I'm thinking, screw this. But no. Like a moth to the flame. I've listened to the message on the answering machine. And it's our interim rector calling. Doesn't give a reason. Just says, call me back. I'll tell you, if you want to really piss me off and get on my bad side, you don't leave a message, you don't tell me a reason to have you call back, and then you insist I call you back. This is not the way to my heart and soul. Shit. So I called him back on my cell phone so that if he has a caller ID, and you know he does, because all of us passive-aggressive guys do, he wouldn't recognize the number. Because I've never, turned out to be the interim rector. I've never called him on my cell phone before. Well, now wait a minute. I would have had to have done, because when we moved that grill, because I can't make what's technically considered a long distance call on my landline. I guess I could change that. It wouldn't cost me any money now. Inertia. So as soon as I sort of realized who it was, I knew what he was going to say. I knew what he was going to say. I knew he was going to ask me to be on the vestry. And he said, well, we wondered if you'd consider being on the vestry next year. Well, first of all, why couldn't he have called me during the day to ask me that question? Because it didn't sound like he was in a meeting, where they had said, oh, why don't you call Joe and ask him if he wants to be on the vestry? Because I don't think there were any meetings last night, Wednesday night at 7:30, 7:45. I might be wrong. I don't keep up with that kind of crap. And I said, I'm very grateful and privileged, that's very gracious of you to ask, and it's very kind of you to ask, and I'm humbled that you'd think I'd be able to do it, and that sort of thing. But I'm going to be the first one here to tell you I wouldn't be able to do it. And the reason is, I have no administrative type abilities along those lines. And when I say administrative type abilities, each vestry member has like a little subcommittee that he has to, or she has to run. Leaving aside the fact I think a lot of that's bullshit. I just have no abilities that way. And I particularly have no abilities along those lines if I consider it to be bullshit. I didn't say that. I said I just have no abilities along that line. I said when I was anesthesia department chairman at the hospital, I realized early on in my medical career I have no administrative abilities. And I don't. I really don't. My abilities extend out to about here, about maybe about an inch out past my fingertips. After that, the rest of the world, I can't control it. I can't really influence it, but, it's good to know that, it's good to realize that early on. It really is. And fortunately, I was able to figure that out early on. And he says, okay. And then he says, and I didn't quite know what he was going to say next, but I kind of also did. He says, we need delegates for the Diocesan Convention. And I'm thinking to myself, what an even bigger bunch of bullshit. And so I said, that's again very kind of you to consider me. I said, but I'm temperamentally unsuited to that, and I am. I'm temperamentally unsuited to that because I have a very low tolerance for bullshit and tire spinning. I also don't want to go take, as being part of the vestry, the don't fuck kids ever training, about sexual predators and abuse and this kind of thing. And that's what it is. It's just like, instead of 8 hours listening to crap, you could just have people drive out 45 miles and they could put up a big slide that says, don't fuck kids ever, and then you all go ham. Instead, you've got to go on a retreat. You've got to pray about it. And you have to reflect on it. No, it's very simple. Don't fuck kids ever. End of training. What a crock. So I said, I'm temperamentally very unsuited to that, and I am, because I just don't tolerate that kind of tire spinning crap at all anymore. I don't have to. There was a time in my life I had to. Everybody has to, certain times in their life. I don't have to do that anymore. Fuck it. Ain't gonna happen. Joe isn't gonna do it. Homie doesn't do that anymore. Period. So I was like, okay. I think what really subdued him right off the get-go was, I said, when he answered the phone, I got in the first word. I said, hello, this is Joe Kersey. I said, what can I do for you? I didn't say, hello, Terry. I certainly didn't say, Father Highland, because I've only had 2 fathers in my life, and one of them's now dead. The other one, of course, is God Almighty. But he ain't my father, and I'm not going to call him that either. I'd just soon he doesn't call me doctor either, frankly. Because I'm no longer actively practicing, although I have a complete, valid, full license. I always call him Terry. I think on some level it kind of annoys him. Good. But it was like somebody, a cold salesman at the door, cold call salesman at the door. Hello, what do you want to do? What can I do for you? State your business. I didn't say that, but that was the tone I used. Calls me at night after I'm about to sleep. Don't do that. Now we can relax. Well, just as an aside, Leica has brought out a new model of their M camera, the M10, which does everything the camera I'm using right now does except take video, which is a big thing since I'm using this to take video. But more to the point, it is the same size as the original analog Leica cameras, which, if you've ever handled one, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's instinctive. And they've got a viewfinder that, guys like me that wear glasses isn't nearly as problematic as this one. Excuse me. The starting price is, for the new ones are, $6,600. I looked at some outlets in Germany, and they wanted like 6,500 euros, okay, which would be more than 600 US dollars, but not too much more. But that includes the value-added tax, and I think as a non-European Union citizen, I can get that value-added tax back. I don't know. I bought this one on eBay as a salesman sample. I don't need a new expensive toy. I'm here to tell you that right now. Okay. Now, I promised to sort of fess up about my very sort of clearly bad state a few days ago. I woke up on the morning of Tuesday, January 17th, fully thinking it was Monday, the 16th. How surprised I was to look up into the right-hand corner of my computer little screen, find out it was Tuesday, January 17th. And then also to find out I had uploaded 4 videos on Monday, January 16th. The last one, well, clearly the last one, the one that really was, brought me to talking about this. I did that around 3 or 3:30 in the morning. Well, I had been up, is that right? Well, that's when it went up, but that wasn't actually when I had videoed it. I had videoed it on early morning Sunday. See, I'm even confused now. But to the point being, I got this, I've been troubling over this operating system, and I got this new computer, and I finally got it set up. And it took me about a little over 48, well, not continuous hours, because there were about 8 hours off for sleep in that 48-hour period, to get it set up. And then when I finally got it set up, there was this intense relaxation phase. Now, in my ute, when I was working, that's how I did stuff. Complete intense focus. You finish and then you get this sort of devastating relaxation period. Now normally, sometimes I would get a migraine headache. Fortunately, after I had to, never had to take a major examination again, I never had a headache. But I still had that kind of exhaustion, and it's not emotional, it's a physical exhaustion, even if you've been getting, okay, 8 hours sleep in 48 hours, who hasn't done that? That's not, it's not like I'm out shoveling coal. I'm sitting in here horsing around the damn computer, But that's why I appeared the way I appeared and sounded the way I sounded. And also, too, even though I knew that Paul and I would part, I knew that long before I even went over to Great Britain last fall, to England, more properly last fall. You sort of pre-mourn that, I pre-mourned my mother's death. I didn't pre-mourn my dad's death because it was very unexpected, but I knew my mother was going to die. I knew this was going to end at some point. So I sort of pre-mourned it so that when it happens, it's not a big deal overtly, but a few weeks or a couple of months later, it does hit you. And I think it's hit me, although it's not hit me in the sense of me saying, oh, gee, it's hit my body. It's hit my body, I've been, my emotions are internalized in my body, not my head. I tend to get weepy when I watch certain movies and TV shows, but, I really don't. I'm a cold motherfucker when I have to be. Always have been. I'd go in and breed burn wounds off screaming kids that wouldn't bother me in the slightest. Not the slightest. Because you do what you have to do. But somewhere in your body, I think guys that have been to war have an idea about that. Well, better than an idea about it in terms of the post-traumatic stress stuff. That's a much deeper and longer phenomenon than what I'm talking about. Well, there it is, guys. Got the candles going. This one's about ready to be pitched. This is a sheep outside a craft shop in Durham. It's not a real sheep. But I thought that was kind of neat, so I took a picture of it. And now I'm showing it to you today. So I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers. Alrighty, bye-bye.